7 tips for dealing with rejection from myself, Derek McGilvray. I'm also known as a happy medium. Dealing with rejection can be painful, whether it happens at work, at home, at school, or in relationships. Never allow others' negative behaviours to put you off your goals and dreams. Just send them healing in the future, as you will receive great deeds by being positive, determined, and the loving person you are. Rejection comes in many forms, and it can be tempting to wallow in self-pity and despair when we are being rejected. Fortunately, there are things we can do that can help us handle rejection with dignity and purpose. Everyone experiences rejection. It's what we do in response that determines how we feel about ourselves. Rejection is scary because it reminds us that we cannot control people and circumstances. Here are a few ideas of things we can do to overcome the rejection blues. Be aware of your emotions. Rejection is a form of loss, creating the sense of losing something we thought we had. Being rejected can feel like an outright violation of our expectations, which is why many of us feel offended when we are rejected. When the rejection is very painful or unexpected, it can be scary, making us feel as though the world we live in is unsafe and unstable. When things do not go the way we expect, we often feel devastated and powerless, especially if we are attached to a particular outcome. We can acknowledge our loss, reminding ourselves that our feelings are never unacceptable or wrong. They're also not entirely true. No matter how extreme or violent our feelings might seem, though it is important to give ourselves the opportunity to experience them. Anger, sadness, and disappointment are all natural responses when dealing with rejection. We can allow for our feelings, whatever they are, without holding on to them. We can let them come and let them go. Practice acceptance. When rejection occurs, one of the ways many of us automatically respond is with denial. We may tell ourselves, this is not happening, or this is all a mistake that will soon be corrected. Denial is a mechanism of self-defense. We deny that something unpleasant is happening because reality is too painful. We can gently correct ourselves by saying, this is happening and it will be okay. This does not mean that I am a bad person or that I have done something wrong. Talk to someone you trust. Another common impulse when dealing with rejection is to isolate and to cut ourselves off from support. This is another way that we unconsciously try to protect ourselves from more pain. Many of us equate relationships, revealing ourselves to others in work, love, family and friendships, with the disappointment that sometimes occurs in those relationships. Take action, get moving. It does not matter what we do, only that we take action and get moving. We can do the dishes, pay bills, organise or finish up that work report we have been neglecting. Purposeful movement clears the mind of the stagnant energy and the negative emotions that hang around when we're dealing with rejection. This is a perfect time to do something we've been putting off. We are probably thinking, what's the use? I will still be miserable, and it will not change the fact I have been dumped or passed over for that promotion, turned down by my number one choice for college or school. We can choose to think about it differently. We can be heartbroken in a busy living room. That makes us feel even more miserable, or we can take constructive action that will likely lift our spirits and self-esteem. Action has a wonderful way of breeding self-confidence and feelings of empowerment. You will feel less a victim of your circumstances when you take action in an area you can actually control. Though it may sound like torture, who suggest cleaning a closet after what feels like the most painful breakup in history. The sooner we get moving, the better we feel. It's okay to resist for a while. As soon as we're ready, we can give it a try. If it still feels like an unsurmountable, useless task, we can make a deal with ourselves to try it out for just 15 minutes. If you want to stop after 15 minutes, we can stop. But we usually find that the momentum of positive, productive energy created in those 15 minutes is sufficient to make us want to keep going. Be kind to yourself. One of the best times to do something nice for ourselves is when we're dealing with rejection. This serves a dual purpose. We get to do something enjoyable, and in doing so, we also prove to ourselves that we are worth the effort and attention. We can buy ourselves a special gift, or get a massage, manicure, or pedicure. We can set aside a day in the coming week to do whatever we want to do, whether that means browsing in a bookstore all afternoon, sipping coffee, or losing ourselves in an art project. Planning ahead for the me time brings with it the gift of something to look forward to, which makes difficult situations infinitely more bearable. Be kind to someone else. What does it mean? However, it is that our thoughts colour our experiences. You have the power to use past success as evidence that the future success is possible and indeed probable. Rejection is a bitter pill to swallow, but its purpose is not gratuitous pain. If we have relationships with other people, and if we regularly take risks, rejection is inevitable. Like any experience, rejection teaches a valuable lesson that we simply cannot learn any other way. We can always choose to see that value, although it may be difficult at first. Dealing with rejection in one area of our life can teach us to deal more gracefully with our next experience of rejection in a completely different area. Lessons like these build on themselves. We can make use of our past experiences of rejection to make our future experiences less painful. Whether it's a pet, a relative, or a stranger, this strategy is particularly effective for coping with rejection. Focus on someone else's needs for a time reminds us that we are not the centre of the universe, and that our disappointments are not as devastating and all-encompassing as we make them out to be. Perhaps someone we love is ill, confined to home or a hospital bed. We can ask if there's anything we might help that person with, being graceful for our health and our ability to offer help. Feeling useful is a fail-safe cure for self-pity. We can call a friend and ask how he or she is, without mentioning or complaining about our circumstances. Take the dog for an extra long walk, or spend time snuggling with the cat. Such small, loving actions centre us, bring us great comfort, and remind us that we matter to other beings. Reaffirm your successes. Rejection can make us feel as though we are failing, and can even lead us to falsely assume that not only have we failed, we are complete failures. Reminding ourselves of specific successes is a great way to remember our assets and our accomplishments during a time when we're tempted to focus only on the negative. By focusing on the positive, we give it power in our minds, in our actions, and ultimately in our circumstances. This does not mean that thinking positively will ensure that we never experience disappointment. If you need help to get back on track, book a private session with myself, Derek. Book now. You can book from my website, ahappymedium.co.uk. You can give us a telephone or email me on derek@ahappymedium.co.uk. And thank you for listening.